ABC 27's News at 6.
Florida Governor Rick Scott is moving quickly to approve a more than $400 million tax cut package. Scott today signed into law a tax cut bill that the Florida legislature approved a day earlier. Good evening, I'm Jade Balexa. Thank you for joining us for the News at 6. Meanwhile, Florida lawmakers have now reached a deal on a new state budget that would let them avoid a government shutdown. And that proposal is expected to be voted on later this week. WTXL's Paulo Salazar is joined now by our political contributor Trimmel Gomes to break it all down for us.
That's right. Thank you, Jade, and thank you, Trimmel, for joining us. Now, Governor Scott approved the tax cut package today. Now, those cuts totaling about $429 million. What's all included in this package? Because it's a big cut.
It's in the tax cuts, everything that's there they're against taxes, eliminating taxes. There are even taxes that were cut out that deals with gun memberships. Anything to do with slashing taxes, it wasn't as much as they wanted. They were proposing $600 million in tax cuts, but it's only down to $400 million.
What does this do for the state? I know, like you just said, we're proposing more cuts. We didn't get everything that we wanted. What does it ultimately mean for Florida?
It ultimately means it allows money to go towards helping those who are uninsured or underinsured. That's why they had to reduce what they were asking for, because the federal government told the state a long time ago, that was part of the issues that we were having this session, that they were not going to be funding the low-income pool program that helps fund hospitals to provide those care to Florida's needy.
Now, the legislators agreed, and I was a little shocked by this, legislators agreed to increase the back-to-school tax from 3 days to 10 days. Was there anything else in this package that might have surprised you?
No, not at all surprising, other than some of the tax cuts that they went ahead with, the gun taxes. But that is a boost for, consumers, a pep to help those who are going back to school. It helps spur education and it's a focus on what keeps the state going, in innovation and stuff. So their emphasis is focusing on education. That's part of what's going into the big budget that they just agreed upon, and it's going through its cooling off period.
And let's turn things now to the state budget. Negotiations were reached today, totaling roughly $300 million for state projects, and expected to be a final agreement of just below $80 billion. How did we come up with the money?
That is part of the question. Through some of the dealings that were going on, even late last night into midnight, I was following the reporters as they were tracking this. They had a lot of meetings, and the Capitol Press Corps lamented that, some of this did not happen in the public sphere. We weren't aware of how they were pulling these dollars together to make up the budget, but somehow they did. They funded special projects for their home districts. Some of those went primarily to the legislative leadership, the House Speaker and the Senate President, able to take care of their home districts. But there were projects that were funded that you thought that were dead in the process from last session, that last night suddenly was slipped in and came back alive. And so, yeah, they claim that this was the most transparent they've ever been. To an extent it was, but some are saying some needed to be more.
And in the last
process.
10 seconds that we have, we do have a cooling off period before everything is actually official.
Yes, it's the mandatory cooling off period when they're going to come back on Friday and just do the up and down vote, which is they're going to vote in place to keep this budget, because without it, it will lead to a partial shutdown of the government, and that's what we're trying to avoid.
And we don't want to see that. Trimmel Gomes, thank you for joining us as always.
Thanks for having me.
Jade, I'm going to send it back to you at the desk.
Backers of the Water and Land Conservation Ballot Initiative, known as Amendment 1, contend lawmakers ignored the desire of voters by using a boost in environmental funding to cover the cost of daily state operations. The concept of the constitutional amendment was spawned as funding diminished for the Florida Forever program, which uses bonds backed with revenue from the documentary stamp real estate taxes and authorizes lawmakers to spend up to $300 million a year for preservation. House Minority Leader Mark Pafford said he'd support litigation over the Amendment 1 funding, saying legislative leadership is ignoring the will of Florida voters.
Having an ear to the ground and sensitivity to what the actual people want doesn't seem to be a priority in this chamber, and that's sad. That's it's a real failure. In Amendment 1, as I said, it's legislative malfeasance, and the state should be sued.
House Speaker Steve Crisafulli maintains that lawmakers followed the language of Amendment 1 when asked about the possibility of litigation.
The budget shows it covers the acquisition and maintenance of land and water. So that was the overall premise of Amendment 1, and I certainly believe that what we've put in play achieves that.
The ballot initiative, which voters overwhelmingly approved in November, requires for the next 20 years that 33% of the proceeds from an existing real estate tax, known as documentary stamps, go for land and water maintenance and acquisition across Florida. For the upcoming year, the increased funding under Amendment 1 for such land and water programs will grow to more than $740 million.
City Manager Anita Favors Thompson releases her recommended balanced budget for the next fiscal year. Now, the recommended budget is $704 million, and the capital budget is $143.5 million. The City Commission will hold a budget workshop tomorrow at 10 a.m. City Commissioners will hold a final budget workshop on July 7th with 2 public hearings on September 9th and the 21st. The new fiscal budget year begins on October 1st. And the Leon County government receives 11 national awards from the National Association of Counties. The 11 awards range from civic education to information technology. Now, some of the programs that were awarded included 911 Day of Service and Remembrance, Club of Honest Citizens, Domi Station, and the Leon County Veterans Resource Center. Now, the NACO Achievement Award program is an award series that recognizes innovative county government programs. Leon County will be recognized at NACO's 80th annual conference in July.
2 men are behind bars tonight in Valdosta accused of cooking meth. Police responded to the 1600 block of East Moore Street Monday. Valdosta police arresting 39-year-old Michael Adkins and 34-year-old Joel Marm after they received a call they were shaking a plastic bottle outside of their apartment. Now, it's referred to as the shake and bake method of making meth. Now, because it's dangerous, nearby apartments had to be evacuated while the meth lab was taken apart. Both men are charged with possession and manufacturing the drug.
A motion has been filed in Leon County to dismiss the charges against Henry Segura for the 2010 murders of Brandy Peters and her 3 children. The motion will be heard tomorrow in a Leon County court. Segura's attorney says that evidence was withheld. They claim an FDLE employee got a letter from the FBI saying that they found partial DNA evidence, and the employee was told by her superior not to disclose that information to Tallahassee police. Now, the defense says that if they had known, they could have interviewed another person of interest who has since been deported from the U.S. And we experienced a little hot day today. I know I saw you working out on a piece today. You came back
I did.
a little sweaty.
I put on some sunscreen too, but I still got a lot of sun. You really have to reapply, don't you?
Yes, that's key. That's key.
It is.
Let's turn things now to Chief Meteorologist Casanova Nurse, who's standing by. Cass, just how hot did those temps get?
Well, it's a fact that it was extremely warm today, just downright hot, and almost record-breaking heat, specifically for Tallahassee Regional. 99 degrees. We went up and down a few times during the afternoon, but in the last couple hours, a spike in that temperature 1 degree off the record of 100 established back in 2009. This morning it was 71 degrees. And with all the heat, despite the presence of that high pressure ridge, enough to pop a few of these spotty thunderstorms. And as mentioned just a little while ago, we did see a briefly strong thunderstorm in northwestern Lowndes County. The main concern was some of the outflowing winds from that earlier thunderstorm. That boundary now pushing through Barney. It's no longer severe, but there was a brief period of time when the thunderstorm was building up and it was pushing a lot of air along with that heavy rain shaft into the northwestern corner of Lowndes. But now it's weaker, and maybe just a few spotty areas of showers, maybe a quick little breeze. Elsewhere, spotty rain near the Dowling Park and Day area close to Lee, as well as near Lake Talquin over towards Bluntstown Highway as well. Most of the action that is out there is moving to the west. Could see a passing shower or a brief storm during the next few hours. Now I'll let you know what the rain chances are like and those hot temperature forecasts for your Wednesday ahead in your Storm Team Outlook.
All right, Cass, thank you for that. We're going to take a quick break. We've got more news coming across the country when we come right back. Stay with us.
There was some sort of a protest. You were hanging the American flag upside down.
Actually, yes, it was for distress.
A neighbor took notice.
I assume that offended you.
Very much. And I said, would you please correct it? I thought it was extremely disrespectful.
Did his patriotism get the best of him?
Look at me, sir.
Yes.
Somebody cut down his flagpole. It could have been you.
Really?
Really?
Next, Judge Judy.
Tonight at 7:30 on ABC 27.
Think your dad would like this great watch, or this cool shirt, or this awesome speaker? Go to Ross and you'll save so much you can get them all three. And when he says,
"What did I do to deserve all this?"
tell him he's your dad. That's enough.
Father's Day at Ross.
The new TLX from Acura. Visit Proctor Acura for attractive offers on the TLX.
At Longhorn, what's in season doesn't last. We make sure of that. Introducing Longhorn's new grilled tastes of summer. The smoky garlic outlaw ribeye, the hickory salt crusted New York strip, or our grilled citrus salmon. All with garden fresh hand chopped salad. Tonight, only at Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak. And for lunch, try our new Tavern Steak Sandwich or get any of our steakhouse lunch combos starting at $7.
When it comes to caring for stroke and brain aneurysm patients,
most hospitals have limited treatment options.
But at Tallahassee Memorial, we have revolutionary options for treating strokes and brain aneurysms without opening the skull.
Stopping clots and bleeds in their tracks.
And we're the only hospital in North Florida with the technology
and the endovascular neurosurgeons
needed to use it.
TMH, revolutionizing brain surgery in Florida's Panhandle.
Ross has the luggage that'll suit you perfectly. You'll find a huge selection of the top brands at a fraction of what you'd pay elsewhere. Like this ultralight spinner, $130 at department stores. But if you want it for less than $50, you've got to go to Ross.
Welcome back, everyone. 6 people are dead after a balcony collapse in California. Now, the incident happened early today in an apartment complex in Berkeley. 8 others were injured and taken to area hospitals. Now, their conditions range from serious to life-threatening. Ireland's foreign minister says that of those killed, they were Irish nationals. Berkeley police says it's not clear what caused the balcony to collapse.
And it's time now to check back in with Chief Meteorologist Casanova Nurse.
Showers and thunderstorms, they are out there, but it's just going to be few and far between for the evening ahead. Perhaps you could get in on one of those passing showers as clouds build up this afternoon with that intense heat. That's what we saw at Florida State University Weather STEM camera, showing some clouds trying to mass together, but no luck right now getting in on storms. But I'll let you know what the late night chance is in your Storm Team forecast.
Titan Doppler Radar is sponsored by Kraft Nissan.
Has the economy had a negative effect on your credit score? Are you hanging on to an older, high-mileage vehicle because you think you can't qualify for something new? Napleton Infiniti can get you the luxury vehicle you deserve. At Napleton Infiniti, no application is refused. We have 100% credit approval. When other dealers say no, Napleton Infiniti says yes. Napleton Infiniti guarantees luxury for less. Less money, less time, and less hassle. Visit us online at napletoninfiniti.com.
The business world is being driven by emerging technologies. New jobs become available for the people who can help manage it. In the School of Information Technology at ITT Technical Institute, we teach skills and knowledge in areas such as cybersecurity and the management of complex IT systems. ITT Tech is working to keep education within your financial reach. Scholarships and financial aid are available for students who qualify. Call 1-800-ITT-TECH or visit us on the web. ITT Technical Institute. Education for the future.
There's people who care where I'm going, and good friends who welcome me home. So get a full tank of freedom, drive the American road. And with a full tank of freedom, find your own highway, we'll take you wherever you go. Take you wherever you go.
So I get my money today?
Absolutely. It'll just take a few minutes.
Excellent. I was thinking about going to a pawn shop, but whenever I think of pawning something, so, just, love you. I don't.
And you shouldn't, because with our simple loans, you get to keep what's important to you.
Like golf clubs.
Our family heirlooms.
Power tools.
Pets.
My wife.
Exactly.
She's the one that told me to come here.
Good call.
Learn more at advanceamerica.net.
Nissan gave a lucky few the ride of their life in the 2015 Nissan Altima.
Where am I going? Where am I going?
Nissan Altima with blind spot warning and up to 270 horsepower. Get the ride of your life at your local Nissan store. Choose the 38 mpg Highway Altima and get up to $1,000 bonus cash. Bonus cash ends June 30th. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Nissan, innovation that excites.
Okay, it sure is hot out there.
It was. It was so hot, I took my kids to daycare. My daughter left her Emma doll in the car. And as good practice, make sure the car is empty before you close it up. So I brought the doll in. No harm done to the doll, but it's a good reminder to make sure no living thing is stuck in a car in the sun, because heat builds up so quickly, and that could cause some not so great effects. In all this heat, we could use some shade, we could use some rain. Not seeing a whole lot of promise for rain, but a passing thunderstorm or brief shower cannot be ruled out in some cases. So we will throw that in the forecast for the night ahead in the capital city. Maybe a little patch of darkening skies and excess cloud cover could maybe produce a few raindrops. And it could be used at Tallahassee Regional. 94 right now, 99 was the peak temperature today. Thomasville at 97, and that's pretty close to the high as well. Valdosta, you get in on the cooling effects of a nearby thunderstorm, so you've been pushed down to 77. Weather watchers solidly in the 90s from the coast to interior sections, highs in the mid-90s. Gale did say shade would be nice, and I would have to agree with that current reading of 93 in the east side of Tallahassee, but there is at least the potential for some of these eastern Big Bend showers to perhaps bump up against the sea breeze boundary, maybe flare up a little bit across portions of Madison County just to the east of the US 19 corridor, maybe making a march towards the west, and between now and about 8, 9 o'clock, some areas within this region could get in on a quick cooling shower. Maybe a quick gust of wind as well, like we encountered in northwestern Lowndes County. That earlier severe thunderstorm already collapsing, so it's already starting to rain itself out and no longer a concern for any kind of intensification. Western side of the region, spotty areas. West side of Lake Talquin along Florida 20 towards Bluntstown and points to the west from there. And that's the direction most of this activity is going, east to west. And it may spread a little bit of light rain and could cool you down a little faster, but if you miss out on this, you're going to stay very sultry for the night. High pressure in charge across the southeast. A lot of the weather features riding around that high pressure ridge, and it's keeping most of our region, our quadrant of the country, in above average heat and quite a stable atmosphere. We will not see a huge amount of showers and storms, but what does form is likely to be isolated to widely scattered, and it could be locally strong just for a short amount of time. But that's how quickly these thunderstorms can build up and fall apart in this sort of suppressing high pressure environment. So don't underestimate the power of these isolated thunderstorms in the next couple of afternoons. They won't be numerous, but they could be briefly strong. And the heat, well, it's certainly keeping a strong grip on the region with forecast highs in the mid and upper 90s again tomorrow, with isolated cases of triple-digit temperatures, perhaps in our interior sections, eastern interior Big Bend, I-75 corridor. Morning lows only in the mid and some lower 70s, so with all the heat that we get during the afternoon, it takes longer for it to be released, and that results in warmer overnight lows. Southwest Georgia, more of the same. Light and variable winds, maybe a storm or two tomorrow, but just increasingly hot. Southwest winds 5 to 12, seas 1 to 2 feet. Smooth conditions, bay and inland waters in our series of extended forecasts, keeping the heat going right up through the weekend. Up and down rain chances, but mostly down, unlike the heat, which will stay way above average.
We'll just have to be ready for that.
That's right.
All right, Cass, thank you for that.
Okay.
We're going to take a quick break. Allison Posey will have a look at sports when we come right back. Stay with us.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
Take a vacation this summer from your car payment at Kia Autosport. Right now, you can get 0% for 66 months, and Kia will make your first 3 car payments on any new 15 Forte, Optima, or Sedona. Only at Kia Autosport, where we want to see ya in a Kia.
What's in a name? Everything. Benson's an American standard, leading the way for over 35 years. I'm Benson Green, and I'm proud of the reputation and trust our name stands for in this community. With 690 years of experience and weekly training, our superb Benson's team will listen, communicate, and perform to your highest expectations. And that's why we offer American standard heating and air conditioning systems with rebates up to $1,100 or 0% for 36 months. Call Benson's today for all the details.
Choosing from the $4 menu is not for the indecisive. Incredible values await. Behold the original double steak burger meal, the taco salad and chili cheese footlong meals, the garlic double steak burger meal.
What's that sound, Master?
Kung Fu elbow. Try it.
The $4 menu, where all meals are under $4 at Steak and Shake.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
At Kia Autosport right now, you can get 0% financing for up to 66 months and own a new 2015 Kia Forte for just $16,202. Plus, Kia will make your first 3 car payments only at Kia Autosport, where we want to see ya in a Kia.
Welcome back, everyone. We're joined now with Sports Director Allison Posey, and we've got some new things coming to FSU that a lot of folks are going to be excited about.
A lot of things, you know, new sports, sand volleyball.
Oh, fun.
And a new coach. Found that out today, too. Sand volleyball is on the rise in the collegiate ranks, with the first NCAA championship set to hit the court next spring. And now the Florida State Seminoles have a new leader to hopefully get them there. Brooke Niles will take over the reins of the Seminole program. The ladies finished last season 13-6 and tied for 7th at Nationals. Niles comes with quite the resume, having played collegiately at UC Santa Barbara before pursuing a successful professional beach career. Niles was also an alternate for the 2012 Olympic team and London. Niles releasing a statement through Florida State today saying that, quote, "I am beyond excited to join the Florida State family. I have already fallen in love with Tallahassee and the university, and I can't wait to share my passion, knowledge, and love for the game with this team." No word on when she'll arrive on campus. As it stands now, just 5 NCAA sports do not have early signing periods. Football is one of them, but by week's end, that could change. The Collegiate Commissioners Association is set to vote on a proposal as early as today that will create a 3-day signing period for football in December. The ACC is in favor of this proposal. If it passes, it will operate on a 2-year trial basis. Former Florida State defensive coordinator and associate head coach Mickey Andrews knows a thing or two about recruiting and signing periods, having coached for 40+ years, 26 of those at Florida State. We caught up with Andrews yesterday at the Tallahassee Seminole Club's 9th annual celebrity golf tournament, who said he didn't have a chance to attend too many Florida State practices this spring, but he is excited to see what the Noles can do come fall.
See the organization, to see the quality of athletes they're working with now, it makes you proud to get out and be a part of it. A lot of people have asked me about Golson. I don't really know a lot about Golson other than Florida State saw all they wanted to of him last year when Notre Dame was down, but it should be an interesting year. They've got so many outstanding players they've got to replace, but they've got quality to do it with.
They most certainly do. Now tonight on WTXL, a game that has the potential to pack celebration, heartbreak, hope, and desperation all at one time. It's Game 6 of the NBA Finals, where the Warriors can clinch or Cleveland can hold on. The Warriors laid the Cavs 3-2 and can win their first NBA title since 1975 with a win tonight over LeBron James and the Cavaliers. It's going to be stopping LeBron, though. That'll be the problem. He's averaging nearly 37 points and 13 rebounds a game. Oh, yeah, and 9 assists. Not bad. Game 6 tips tonight at 9 right here on WTXL. And women's soccer team looks to inch closer to the Women's World Cup, and it all starts tonight. The U.S. ladies take on Nigeria on the pitch in their final group matchup. If they win, the Group D title is theirs, and they'll play their first round of 16 match against a 3 seed from another group. In other words, if they win, their route to the World Cup semis is a pretty easy one. Kickoff for that matchup is set for 8 o'clock tonight. That'll do it for sports. Don't go away. More news and weather.
Need cash now? TitleMax can turn your car title into cash. Get the cash you need in as fast as 30 minutes. All it takes is a vehicle with a clear car title and a valid ID to get started. Bring your car title to TitleMax and say, "I got my title back with TitleMax."
Bring new life into your home with just the flick of a switch. Doug's Lamp and Shade is full of creative ways to update and upgrade any room in your house. Turn your favorite vase into the base of a lamp. Restore and repair a family heirloom or brass piece, or simply choose the ideal accent for any room from the area's largest selection of new lamps and custom shades. Doug's Lamp and Shade, 604 North Bruno Street. Stop by today and bring new light into your life.
She may not look like it, but she's what the automotive maintenance industry calls a severe driver. That means she doesn't always warm up her car's engine. She drives in stop-and-go traffic. She runs a lot of short errands around town. She drives in extreme temperatures. Sound familiar? Severe driving means the need for added and more frequent protection for your car's engine. That's why she goes to Superlube every 3 months or 3,000 miles.
Hurt in a car wreck? Pick a law firm with horsepower. Call me, Attorney Randy Pelham. Often you're entitled to more money than just car repairs, medical bills, and lost wages. And often I can get you money the insurance company doesn't tell you about. We've got horsepower. We work to get you all your money and keep you out of the courtroom. Why take the insurance company's offer? We work to get you more. Call me, Attorney Randy Pelham. I just love to work fast.
The Pelham Law Firm is the way to go. 383-6600.
Moving a TV is a real pain. Would that be easier if I had Prism TV from CenturyLink?
Sure. I've got CenturyLink's wireless set-top box, which makes it pretty easy. Let me show you. I could move it here, or here, even here.
Switch to CenturyLink. Get the Prism Essential TV package with internet for only $65 a month for 1 year with auto-pay enrollment.
Didn't even break a sweat. Until just now.
Need cash? Need it in an instant? Then you need InstaLoan. Get $1, $2, even $3,000 InstaFast. InstaLoan offers signature loans, personal loans, and loans on your car. If it's InstaFast, it must be InstaLoan.
Skycam brought to you by Napleton Infinity, home of the lifetime warranty.
Still a chance for a couple more thunderstorms, even within the capital city between now and about 10 o'clock, so that could impact temperatures somewhat. A couple storms in northern and northeastern Taylor County may continue to make a march towards the west, so we'll monitor those after that. Just very muggy and warm overnight.
All right, Cass, thank you for that.
Okay.
And thank you for tuning in to your news at 6. Make sure you stay right here. We'll be on after the NBA Finals. Have a good night.
Tonight, a massive tropical storm hits the coast. Tens of millions now in the path.